Hey, Kelly, welcome back to Revitalized Womanhood.
Thank you. So excited to be back.
I'm sure. Is this like the highlight of your month? Like
Oh, you bet.
going on the podcast,
I get to see you
going on the
live.
podcast. I know, isn't that funny? Like not that we don't Marco enough every day that
It's live. I'm like, hey,
it's
because sometimes,
true. Because
yeah,
Marco, it's like you talk, then I talk, then
Mhm.
you talk, then I talk. It's never
This is,
talking together.
it's kind of scary actually that we're live and we could just keep going back and forth. Scary, but no. Yeah, I'm like, can we Zoom? I really want to see your face. Kelly, no, because we're not going to be able to stop talking. So this is perfect.
Kelly and I decided that instead of Marco, I'm going to carry my phone around like on my chest, like a GoPro camera, so that she just spends her day with me or like on my hat. And so she just sees everything that I'm seeing.
Because we kind of do that already anyway.
Can you imagine? I'm going to do it one of these days. I'm just going to call you and it's going to be like,
Clip your little paw.
I'm going to clip my little pop socket. What's that called? The pop socket onto my
Yeah,
chest and just
yeah.
carry it around on my necklace.
And I would watch it all.
We are so weird.
We like each other,
I
so
wonder if people are like, oh, that episode, or if they're like, I love that episode.
I hope they feel good about it because I don't know, we just kind of are who we are, and I think that's okay, but
I think that's okay.
it's fun.
We know we're not for everybody.
We know that. We've been told.
Should we show off our earrings? Kelly had to put hers on because I put mine on and I showed her. But if you're looking on YouTube, I'm going to show mine because I want to give this gal a shout out. So, oh my gosh, do those look like me or what?
Yes.
So good. I am like stuck in the black and copper and white. Like that's so my colors right now.
They kind of match your podcast that was released yesterday with you're like, which one was that? You talked to three people. The one that was released
Oh,
yesterday.
it totally does. Oh, she would love these.
Yeah.
Natalie
Yeah.
Kvarik. She would
Yeah.
love these.
I
So
didn't want to botch her last
this
name.
gal's name is Opal and Company. So on Instagram it's Opal. What's the little dash? An underscore? Opal underscore and underscore company. She got some great stuff. Holy moly. And she was, like you said, she was sitting there like totally just boop, boop. And I'm like,
It's so I took my niece to Alexandria and I tried to do a fun thing with her because I only have one that's like of age that can hang out with me. Of age.
of age.
My
Not
niece
taking her to the bars yet.
no. So we do fun things. So I made these and they're the black, white, and then the gold on the bottom. But they're the fringe ones. So this class was a 2-hour course. No, in 4 hours we didn't even finish our first one. The lady was so nice to help us, but there's so much work. So I like appreciate when people come out with different patterns of them because I know that it takes a lot of practice. But
I
they're
love
so
yours.
cute.
Can you
And they're
spend the
like,
next 8 hours making me some, please?
no. I have the stuff upstairs and there's no way I can even remember how to make the first row.
Do you know what's so sad too is that you could probably hop on Amazon and get a pair. Isn't that sad?
That is, and that's why I would prefer to spend more on a super
Yep.
good, cute quality one than the Amazon because those do fall apart, but they're awesome. Those are
Yeah.
so much cuter than the Amazon ones, but
So anyone listening, just a heads up, I'm going to throw her under the bus right now and remind her that she said that she's going to give us a pair to do a giveaway at the retreat. Isn't that going to be so good?
for real.
Yeah, so good. So good. Support local. Support
Support
local.
local. Is she from
Yeah.
Utah?
St. George, yeah.
George. Everybody's from St. George.
I know. Wait till you see the cute little
Right.
clips I got to attach to our swag bags too. They were from that vintage market too. They're so cute.
Whoa!
Yeah.
What a good idea. You
They're
found him,
super
huh?
cute.
Good.
It's gonna be so good.
I can't wait. I'm just like antsy to get there. Like May is not that far away. So
It isn't, but it is, you know? It's like
heard
we're
about it for
just
so long.
jonesing to see each other in real life, all of us.
It's gonna be so good. I know. And there's women that you haven't met yet in person.
Yeah, our newest member, Carrie. None of
Is-
us have even really had a more than half-hour conversation with her. That's going to be awesome.
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. What do you got for me today?
Oh, hi. I'm Kelly. And I have Ask Me Anything.
Ask me anything.
Gina, ask me anything.
I guess Ryan asked Rick to be on his Ask Me Anything this week, so they're going to record Monday for that. So that's going to be interesting. I'm interested to hear that. That's going to be really interesting. Actually, his will go out before this. So that'll be funny. If anybody missed it, they can go back and listen to
I
it.
can't wait. And it's going to be like a guy version. This is the girl version. It's a little bit more sensitive, where the guys are going to be like, where do you like to hunt? Gina, did you bring your Benelli with you?
I did. I had to ask Kelly what a Benelli was today. I'm like, Rick brought home this hat. I kind of like it. It's really cute. I'm going to wear it. And what does it mean? And Kelly's like, oh, it's a Benelli hat. And I'm like, what does that even mean?
I was surprised I knew, because I don't know gun stuff either. So.
For the rest of you, it's a gun.
That's so funny. It is a gun, but it's cute. You'll have to wear it sometime. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Did you
Maybe.
Did you peek at the questions?
I only know the one Amy asked because it was on our Marco.
And I absolutely love it. I was excited about it. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here's the hot seat with Gina. Okay, what do you wish people knew about you right off the bat without you having to tell or show them?
Right off the bat? How do you even know anything about someone right off the bat without showing or telling them? That's so interesting, because that is like judging a book by its cover, right?
It is.
And I guess that's human nature.
Human nature.
Well, I have a funny story that I've actually said on this before, and funny enough, I just said it on the Tuesday episode, because when this goes for Friday, the last Friday of the month, Rosemary's episode is the Tuesday before this. And so I brought that up. I said, Rosemary, would you tell my listeners what you said to me in one of our calls? And she said, I feel bad. That's so rude. I don't want to say it. And I said, I love it. I absolutely love it. Mm-hmm. And she said, when I first listened to your podcast, I thought, oh, she's not for me. And she said, I did not care for you at all. I thought no one is that happy. And I'm like, well, of course I'm not always happy, but I'm glad she kept to it and got to know me, because now she knows that for me, it feels like she was saying that I'm not genuine. Right? Mm-hmm. Is that what I'm saying is just a show I'm putting on, like you would see on social media, right? Like people showing their best highlight reel. And that's not at all me. And she knows that now. She's been with me since day one, like was on one of my first calls with me. And I think I have shown her that I am absolutely genuine and passionate about what I'm talking about in here. And it lights me up, right? Being able to show these women the amazing things that I'm seeing in them that they can't see for themselves, and helping them see it and realize it, rediscover it, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like Dorothy posted today in the network, and she was like, I have to tell you this win. And I cannot believe from the beginning, when she first came in and I was like, oh, honey, and to now, it's like night and day difference. She's so amazing. She's just so, she was always amazing, but she just didn't realize it. She just didn't believe it.
A little oomph in there.
Yeah, she needed just a little hype girl. She needed someone cheering her on and cheering, in her corner. And I love that. So I guess the answer to that question is, I really, truly am this genuine, because even if I am having a bad day, I'm telling you I'm having a bad day, right? Like I'm on Pure Imperfection or on Revitalized Womanhood saying, I'm fighting with my husband right now. Like we do not have the perfect marriage. It's not a highlight reel, right? Or I yell at my kids and I have to try again to be better the next day. I'm not. So I'm not just always happy, but I am always genuine.
Yep. You definitely are. That's a really good answer. I love that so much, because I don't think people realize that when you build the community that you are dedicating yourself to, they're not seeing the time and dedication that you're doing behind this camera. We are the members of your community, as the sisters are, but you couldn't keep going with that community if you didn't genuinely care about each and every one of them. And I'll never forget the first time you told me, oh my gosh, people have signed up. They're signing up. And you go, I have like 5 girls. And you're like, aren't they sweet? And I'm like, well, yeah, you're going to keep getting members, but you felt so good about having these girls, trust in you. And then to go backwards and hear what Rosemary said. if that's not the best thing you could hear from somebody, is just a little bit of feedback. Like, I didn't completely think I could trust you right off the bat. Well, you can, and she can see that. But yeah, you're not going to be able to keep going on with this community if you don't, show that to them. And you are, and you're showing up to each and every one of them, and you know all their life stories. You know more than any of us. I don't get that access to that. And that's good. You don't share their information, but you share yours and say, hey, I'm not perfect, and I am typically very happy, and I do have a lot of energy, and life is good, and I choose to see the positive. But if we don't have a leader that doesn't automatically think that way, yeah, that's not going to happen. But also they need to know, like, Gina has bad days. She's struggling, she has something that's going on in her life. She's human, and they can relate to you. So
and that I'm a constant work in progress too, that
right.
I'm not just telling anyone you do this. It's I'm living it. I'm doing it too. I'm trying to be better at time management. I'm trying to be better at, and I'm constantly learning, and I'm constantly looking for coaches, and I'm constantly looking for tips, tricks, and hacks to do things better. Right.
In fact, you'll have a situation in your day and you'll be talking to me about it, and you'll go, that's it. I'm going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this. We're going to share this. So like, you take your situations and go, you know what? If it's not just me living it. If you're going through it, they're going through it too. And that's how we can connect with each other. So, and the longevity of you just reaching out to everybody and being there it's so awesome. But Rosemary is a perfect example for that. Perfect.
She is. She was so like nervous about it too. And I'm like, I could not love this more. Call me out. I'm fine with it. I know who I am.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, it's cool. So she's great. So, okay, good answer. Okay, next one. If you could go back and tell your 18-year-old self anything, what would it be? Oh, anything. 18 years old, you just graduated.
Don't live life for other people. You don't have to check the boxes.
Chills. Yeah.
It took me a long time to figure that out. And that's okay. Actually, it's interesting that I see everything as, yeah, you can have regrets. I talked about this on the episode with my mom. It's like, you can have regrets. I can regret things. I understand that what I've experienced has brought me to this and it's given me the knowledge I have now. And I'm grateful for that. But I can also look back and go, I just really wish I would have thought this way so that I would have. So one of mine is, and I feel it now. Like when we got to Amsterdam, I honestly felt in my soul that I was like, this is like 5 things trying to put it together. All right. So one of my regrets is that I didn't apply myself and go to a university, right? I should have not been scared, and I should have been able to go to the city. I mean, I'm thinking of University of Utah in my head just because I'm familiar with that campus. But so, it's be able to ride the train to classes or have roommates off campus or an apartment, right? Or, that kind of a freedom experience.
Yeah. That
I was holding myself more accountable. Instead, I took the easy way out and came down to Dixie, which everyone knows is basically high school. It's a party school. It's like, and it's all just very close. So my apartment was right off campus. Like it was very close. It felt a lot like high school, honestly. Now it's a university. So now it is different and now it is grown, but yeah, it's still not that big. And so I do regret that kind of an experience. And I will make sure that my children have all of the information that they need to make decisions and hopefully not feel the same fear. And not that was any bad on my parents' part. I was always kind of the person that was, I'm going to touch the stove. You can tell me not to touch the stove, but I'm going to do it. And I might do it more than once to figure it out. And so in that regard, yes, I am proud that I am here where I am because I've touched the stove so many times that I've grown from it. But so going back to what made me realize that was a regret for me is when we got to Amsterdam. Like we'd already visited all these amazing places and I loved them and everything was just wonderful and whatever. We got to Amsterdam and I was like, I want to live here. Like I feel this city in my soul. And same with, it actually happened again in Australia, in Melbourne. Same thing. Like
So
it
cool.
just felt in my core that I was like, I could totally live here. And the reason for that is it's a big city vibe, like a cute, you can walk down the street, get your coffee, walk down to the local little market, get your groceries, get some flowers, whatever. It's like, but it's not a big city. It's not like New York City. It's not like LA.
Right.
It's not like Paris.
Right.
It's just a small city with big city vibes, right?
Yep.
And I was like, this is so. Next part of that what's your perfect day exercise that I just sent you from Danya Douglas Hunt, which her episode will come out next month.
Yay.
She has an exercise that she does that kind of is supposed to release your subconscious, and it's called What's Your Perfect Day, right? And I thought of that when she just started talking about it. I'm like, I imagined my perfect day, and it was in Amsterdam, going down from my like 3-up apartment, townhome apartment, going down, walking down to the local little coffee shop, going to get some flowers, whatever. And that was like my perfect day. So that brought that up again. What was even the question? Oh, what would I tell my 18-year-old?
Yeah. What would you tell your 18-year-old?
Whoa, let's bring that back around. So anyway.
You said there was 5 parts to this, so you're good.
So yeah. So don't live your life for what you think other people think you should be living your life as. So like for me at that time, I felt like I had to go to college, which I'm glad I did that, but I should have maybe gone and traveled, but I couldn't at the time. I was too scared. So I shouldn't have gotten married. I shouldn't have felt like I needed to marry that boyfriend from high school. I shouldn't have felt like I had to be committed to him and living my life through him at that time. I should have been living my own life.
Yeah.
And my parents tried to warn me. They tried to say it. They tried to, but again, touching the stove.
Yeah.
Living and learning. But so I would just tell 18-year-old self, don't check the boxes. Live your life for yourself, not for other people.
I love that. I 100% agree with that answer though too in my life. Yeah. It took 40 years to get there. I'm a little slow.
I wonder I think it actually, it took until we lost everything in the recession.
Yeah.
I mean, after my first divorce and just a caveat, I mean, we were married for a year. It was like, oh, dang, we really probably shouldn't have got married. So bye. Yeah. It was he's nothing wrong with him, nothing wrong with me. It was just we were too young, whatever. But after that, I did establish very strong foundation in who I was. Like I started really knowing myself and living by myself and doing that. So that was really where I established. And I say that because I think it really cemented when Rick and I lost everything in the recession. But I also look back on my relationship with Rick before we were married, and I was a very strong, independent person. Like he wanted to move in together, and I said, you can move in with me. I will never move in with you.
Yeah.
This is my life, my home. Unless we're married, but things like that.
Yeah.
And he'd like say things like, well, I don't think I just want to date you. I want to date other people too. And I said, good, then go do it. I'm not around for that. So bye.
Exactly.
I was a very strong person. And I think that's what drew him to me is I wasn't one of these little college girls that were like, hey, I like you.
I love that though, because I think it does take loss to learn. And maybe my loss came at different phases that helped with that, which this is not about me, but I just think that for anybody that is younger, we worry about what everybody else thinks and everybody thinks you should do. And it is, our parents are trying to mold us into that. You have siblings and aunts and uncles, and you have a big family. So I'm sure there's a lot of people and you're like, what are they doing? Oh, I don't want to do that. So you just base it off all those little things. And, you get to the point where it is about your family. I think we talked about that last time. It's like just boils down to like what you guys need, and thankful for those situations because it does make you a better person. But 18 is young. So young.
Yeah. And your family, your parents, bless their hearts, they know what's best for you, they think.
Yeah.
But you are put on this earth with your own totally unique little personality and totally unique everything about you that's not the same as my mom. And it was not the same background that she had. It was not the same blueprints that my dad had. It's not, we all come from such different, every bit of information that we take in from our very cells in the very beginning of time is so different and unique to us.
Yeah.
Who really knows what's best for anyone else? Like I know that it's not good for Hayes to touch the stove. Like I know that it's not good for Locke to play outside naked in a rainstorm, but who am I to tell Castle that he needs to go to college? Who am I to tell Hayes he needs to not invent something, right? Like they each have their own little DNA and their own little network going on in there that they have to figure out for themselves. And that's the hardest part about being a parent, is recognizing that that's a fact.
Yep. And they're both different. You can't treat them the same, because they're at different levels, and that's okay. Different ages. And Matt and I talk about that a lot, actually. So we had that conversation with our little marriage group the other night, because everybody has a little bit older kids than us, and they're talking about how to direct them into the right way. Well, how to love them and support them. But it's tough. Yeah. Surrounding yourself with good people and figuring it out. But I love that. That's so good. 18 is so young, but then at 18, they're ready to fly. So it'll be here before we know it.
It will. Oh my heck.
Okay. I love the next one.
Oh, okay. What's the next one?
It. Okay. What Enneagram type are you? I know you told us, but somebody wants you to remind them what you are.
Okay, so this is why I'm really excited for Jen Hurst to join us at our retreat in May, is because she's going to be doing a deep dive into this for us. We're not just doing it for one day, we're doing it for 2 days, because she's coming for the first day and giving us everything she's got and then letting it sink in for a day. She's going to let it, that's the whole plan. And then the next day, we're going to be doing it in like real life scenarios, like Gina sit in this chair, Kelly sit in this chair, and we're going to talk to each other in a way that this Enneagram number would talk to this Enneagram number, right? Yeah. And hear things the way that I want to say them, but how I should probably think about it before I say it to your Enneagram, right? So it's real life scenarios. I pulled this up because on the episode with Jen Hurst, if anyone wants to go back and listen to that podcast episode, it was with the Jen Hurst episode. I took the test and it said that I was a type 3. And in that episode, it was actually really funny because I told Jen I didn't want to be the type 3. I read what the type 3 said and I'm like, oh, no. I don't like that one bit. And she said, that's actually really interesting because most people will tend to go towards the things that are celebrated and rewarded in society, which for women, that's nurturing, that's people pleasing, that's right. So we kind of feel like we want to be that Enneagram because that's what society rewards. So I'll read you what the type 3 is the achiever. And it says, 3s are defined by their desire to be significant and to distinguish themselves through their achievements. To others, 3s appear confident, ambitious, and goal-oriented. They are unsure of their innate self-worth and look for validation through their accomplishments. 3s are typically very image-focused. It is important to them that others see them as successful. My deepest fear, apparently, 3s fear being insignificant or a failure. To cope with this fear, they look for ways to win in life, reassuring themselves that they are valuable. Core motivation. And I think this might have been these type 3s are motivated by a need for attention and admiration. They strive to be successful and significant to avoid feeling worthless. It's all pretty good, actually. It's pretty true. It's pretty true. Key personality traits of the 3: acutely aware of social niceties, impressive range of accomplishments, extremely busy and on the go, jam-packed schedules and meetings, may have interests in improvisation or acting. That's not me at all, is it, Kelly?
This is so fun.
Refined taste in outer appearance, charismatic, makes good first impressions.
Well, you didn't tell Rosemary, but I think typically you do.
This goes on and on and on, and then it has all these wings. But I also, when I did this, and you've got your little pie chart,
Yep.
I told Jen that I actually was almost the exact same size in like 3 different numbers.
Okay.
And she said that's actually really good. It means that you are well-rounded. So
Cool.
and maybe hopefully not in a chameleon type sense, like I
Yeah.
can be a different person, but hopefully that it's more that I can be open-minded to those other
Right.
types.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to learn more about it.
I want to learn more because I too did the test online. I've had my friends do the test, and we kind of second guess it. But when you read that description of you, that is you. Exactly. I've never heard a description like more somebody than that one.
Yeah.
That is you. So it is, I can't wait to have her come talk to us about it because I want to know if that really is truly me, if 3 really is you, and should you be focusing more on, you've mastered your 3, that is who you are, but would it be good for you to focus on one of the other levels that you should maybe be like, that's where my work should be? Or when I'm, you're in different modes, your mom mode, your work mode. So in your work mode, do you pull more towards the achiever or do you pull more towards something else? So I think diving deeper into those numbers and how they connect with each other, because you have your wings, and that gets confusing when you just take a free test online. So I'm super excited that she's coming. I cannot wait. I think that's going to be amazing. And the only reason I love to know my friends' numbers, because now I'm like, I know what she needs. I know it's like the love thing. I know what your love language is by you just reading that to me, but I already know you. But someone who doesn't know you can be like, oh, she's a 3. I'll know people that are 8. I'm like, my husband's an 8. I know exactly who you are. Or I have a friend that's a 2 as well. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're like identical. It's crazy. And it's a tool, right? It's a personality tool, but I think it's pretty good because you can match it with your mom life, your work life, your friend life, all those things.
When she said that, who is it that says stab me in the front? An 8? Is that an 8?
That's my husband.
Yeah. And isn't that funny? I said, that's Rick. Like when she said it's a stab me in the front, I'm like, oh, that's my husband. Like you don't even need to tell me anything else about it.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's true. I don't think he's a total 8. So his wing must be very close by in a different number.
Well, and she'll tell you how can your 3 and 8 go,
yeah. How should we communicate better?
Exactly. And it's true. I've read those things with a 2 and an 8, and it's pretty incredible. So I love that you've dove into it though and thought about it and then go, oh, it's not really me, but oh, I guess it is. So that you have that.
I think I just looked up a different one. That one was actually really good. I liked that site.
That was a good
Let me see. I was going to say,
version.
let me see what site that is because it's truity.com. Truity. That's because I like that description because I have another one in my phone that says, this is the one that made me be like, oh, I don't like this. It says, vigorously pursuing tasks and becoming utterly absorbed in the pursuit of attainment and what brings prestige. And I don't feel like that's me, right? It kind of made it sound like all my main focus in life was that. And I'm like, no, because I'm a mom before anything else.
Exactly.
So
yeah, I can see where you get turned off by it, but it is somebody who can help teach it to us in the positive way instead of taking the negatives out of it. Because there's a positive and negative about each of them. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're learning about that. And having her come to the retreat is like the icing on the cake. We're not just learning about that in our community and talking to people about their Enneagrams, but we get to actually go through that. So exciting for me.
And she is a coach that the reason I met her is because I was interested in it and I would like to be coached and I want to hire her services, right?
Yeah.
But we kind of became like friends through it, and I'm like, you should come to this retreat with me in Austin. I think you would love it. And she was talking about our retreat. And she's like, so like, is it okay if I kind of just hang out? And I'm like, yeah. Like,
I would hope she would
come and hang out. Like that's the vibe, right? It's women that want to elevate each other. I'm like, you absolutely can come hang out. Yes.
That makes me excited. So awesome. Poor thing. Kelly's coming.
Look out.
Okay, next one. This one's a little bit deep too. I think you've probably thought of this because you talk about it. But if you wrote a book, what would it be about?
I have talked about this.
Yeah.
I've actually have 2 books that I'm thinking about. And I don't know. Do you say them? Do you say them to people? Like, how
No.
scary is that? Trademark, copyright, heard it here first.
No, and I don't even think you have to say, but is it about,
Time stamped March 22nd, 11:14 a.m. Mountain Standard Time.
you know what, you do
This
feel
will hold up in court.
because I know you process it a lot and you talk about it sometimes, but that is almost a personal question. It really kind of is because it's
It
in
is.
your mind. But if
Well,
it could be about, is it going to be more about business, family?
so
What
the
category?
one that I came up with in my very first conference, and Kira helped me release it because she kind of was working. That's what she does. She calls herself a book medium and she helps people release their books.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
so she was doing it with another person on the stage, but she kind of asked the audience to kind of just do it with them and like close their eyes and do the work with them. And it did. It unlocked mine. And my philosophy is it doesn't have to be lonely at the top.
Oh,
Like, you know how everyone always talks about climbing the ladder and it's so lonely at the top. And I hear this all the time about women. Literally, what's her name? Just posted about it. The Spanx lady. What's her name? She's so awesome.
I know, I just forgot her
I
name.
just tagged you in it because she's giving away like a getaway.
Oh yeah, her.
What in the heck? Oh, now that's going to bug me. Now I got to know. Anyway, so she actually did a post that was that it's been very lonely. Her pursuit of success has been very lonely. And so many people were like, you're right. That's the truth, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I don't agree with that. I feel bad that you did live that. And I feel bad that so many women do live that because it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Guess what? There are communities like this. If mine doesn't work for you, go over to Melanie Studley's. If Melanie's doesn't work for you, go over to Sally Holder's. If that doesn't work for you, go to another one. And I will tell you, go to another one. If you have trauma you need to work through, go to Jennifer Nelson's, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I'm not scared to have Melanie Studley come and be a guest attendee at our retreat because I know that she's just an all-around cool lady
Yeah.
and I want to hang out with her.
Yeah. me
I'm
too.
not scared that she's going to take any of my members.
No.
Because if she
right.
did, they shouldn't have been here anyway.
Exactly.
And so it does not have to be lonely at the top, and I will not be lonely at the top because instead of it being a ladder that someone has to climb,
Yeah.
mine will be a platform.
I love that.
If I am successful,
Yeah.
everybody else will be successful too. Why not?
Yep.
There's room at the top for everybody.
I love that so much. That makes me want to cry, actually. That is how you have always come on our rally calls I'm here with you, alongside you this whole way. That makes me tear up. Yeah, I think that's your book.
I have my Randa episode that just came out. I was talking to her and she's like, you just wrote your children's book. And it's about a magic mirror that I hold up in front of other people's faces and they see who I see them as.
Oh, I love that.
So she's like, that would be the best children's book. And I'm like,
would.
okay.
And then at the end of it, you have a little mirror in the back, like a kid-proof mirror.
In my little pocket, and I pull it out and I'm like, look at little Gina pulls out a little mirror and look at the mirror. Look how amazing you are. This is how I see you.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
You are a beautiful human being. You are beautiful. I hope you can do that sooner than later because it is what you're going through right now, though, too, because you do always talk about, or everybody around in this platform talks about, hanging out with the 5 people that you want to be most like, or, letting go of some of the people that are not serving you anymore. So I think people who do go up their ladder go, don't need you. Does that help them get higher? Yes, it does. But how can you stay on that, vertical ladder where you can come with, but you're not serving me anymore, but we're still going to all stay here with each other. And I hope I can be on that with you. And I think I am, it's bring those people with. You're going to go so much further and feel so much more fulfilled with that. But it's how you live your rally calls and this whole community. So how cool is that?
We got to support each other and elevate each other. This whole philosophy and I felt it, oh my gosh, so much so when I started in the influencer world.
Yeah.
Like when I started Pure Imperfection and it actually became an influencer platform.
Yeah.
I felt it because when you start talking to other influencers and someone who you should be able to just reach out to and be like, hey, what do you talk to brands? How do you talk to brands? Or what do you use? And they will not No.
They don't want to help you.
No, they will not. And I actually took a course. Oh my gosh, I can't think of her name. She was awesome. Anyway, and she talks about this. She's like, if someone is not willing to give you information, that just makes them a bad person. That makes them a petty, jealous person, because there's plenty. Oh my gosh, it's like a $6 billion industry right now. There's plenty of money for everyone. There's plenty to go around. And that's what I feel like community. It's like, if you're not here with me, I don't need all the peoples. I want all the peoples because I want to be friends with everyone, right? And love everyone. But I don't need them, right? I only have so much I can give. And if there becomes a point where I'm not giving the best of myself, right? Then you need to find a different community. Like, but just do it. You need to elevate each other.
Yeah, exactly. I love that so much. Elevate each other. Get that book going, Gina. I want to read it. Speaking of books, so besides Jane Austen, which I don't even know who that is. That's how bad.
Shut your mouth.
I know.
Kelly, there's even movies. We could have a full-on Jane Austen movie marathon.
Oh, see, Gina's opening my world to these things, but I'm not a book reader.
Oh, Jane Austen. Well, we'll get you the movies.
Maybe I do. Maybe I'll just Google her in a little bit and see. But besides her, what are some of your all-time favorite fiction books? Fiction.
Twilight.
Twilight.
Is that what you so funny?
Gave to, Trish?
No.
Different. Oh.
It is vampires.
Oh.
No, actually, Twilight was really, I loved it. Loved it. And actually, it wasn't even the books. I read the books, or I mean, it wasn't the movies. I read the books well before the movies were even out. So I was an original Twilight fan. And actually, I remember it was when Rick and I were first married, and I had read the first one, and it was so good. And then so I had the second one there, and he had left to go on like a boys' night out or something. And in the time that he had gone out for the day and night, I had read the book that I went and got, and then went and got the other one and brought it home and went and read that one. I mean, I just like binged through it. And this was back in the day when I had no kids, right? I'm just newly married, sitting in my little office chair reading Twilight. Aww. But, and also like I have funny things that I muscle memory to it as well. Like I would be reading it while we were driving up to Panguitch Lake to go elk hunting. Actually, I think this was in the time when we were still going to Fish Lake, and Josh Groban was playing on the radio while I was reading it. So now whenever I think, when I hear Josh Groban, it like correlates to reading Twilight. I love it. So
that's hilarious.
It's really funny, but
Josh Groban. Just kidding.
Oh, I'm like, Kelly, we can't be friends anymore. Goodbye. I'm done. We're not friends anymore. I will tell you, I told Kelly that if she couldn't quote Dumb and Dumber, if she didn't understand when I was quoting Dumb and Dumber, we couldn't be friends.
And I totally got that one. It was about the bird. Pretty bird?
Pretty bird. Our pets' heads are falling off.
Pets' heads are falling off, and I got that one. Matt quotes it all the time. Now, you haven't seen that side of him, but it's so funny because I'm like, where's that from? He's like... Short-term memory.
I am the friend that quotes movies all the time, and you're like, oh boy. And that makes me feel bad because you don't watch so many, and I maybe watch too many.
No, I don't think that's bad. I think I just need to open my horizons.
Get a Netflix account.
I think it's pretty incredible. See, I'm putting chapstick on. You have a really good memory, and you remember a lot of things from way back. I mean, you're just like a wealth of like every book, every movie, everything that you've seen and read. But typically those people aren't outgoing people. So here you're like, that book person and the movie person, but then you share it all outward, which those people just typically aren't. From what I've seen, are just like, oh, we just keep to ourselves. No, you share it. And I'm like, awesome. I get to hear it without having to watch it or read it.
Well, what's funny too is Trish asked me, remember the other night, she asked what some Netflix or some show recommendations were. And I feel like I am super well-rounded. Like aside from really scary movies, like especially murder, like psychopath stuff, I will not, because that kind of stuff, I think that could truly be happening. Like on Netflix, if anybody is into that, I will not. I will not. I was a dispatcher for 6 years. Yeah. I don't need that in my life. I can't handle it. Like, I don't want to think about stuff like that.
Happens. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's like The Lux series is a really good one, especially ladies, if you have daughters. It's it's Luxe, the Lux series. And actually, Trish and I have both read all of those. That was a really good series. And then actually my most favorite recently was, what was the name? Kelly Armstrong. Let me look.
You're so funny. See, you remember names and everything. Oh, you're so good.
Well, it's because a Canadian writer. That's funny. So her Rockton series is about like a detective that things happen that she has to like run away from the city and go into kind of hiding, like witness protection kind of a thing. And so she goes up into the Yukon to this town that no one knows is there because it's other people that are in kind of like a hiding type situation. So she becomes the detective in that
Love that
town. And it's really good. There's a few books in that series, but then she also has like it's called Otherworld series, the Otherworld series, and it's like werewolves and stuff. So, like I have all sorts of different genres that I love. I love them all.
so good. I'm actually jealous of that. Envious. I'm not jealous. I'm envious that you have that in you.
I used to read a lot before I had kids. I read a lot. And then after I had kids, I would audible a lot. Like I listened to a lot of books.
And now you're reading a lot more of like
And now it's,
because you're
self-help
trying to
and
implement
growth.
that, and
Which
you-
actually, so my favorite one so far is obviously Atomic Habits. I mean, everybody in the world will agree that that's one of the best
it
books.
is.
And then Good Leaders Ask Great Questions. I loved that book.
It was
And
really-
our monthly topic, this book for April,
yeah.
already in love with it. It's awesome. It's called Who Will Cry When You Die.
I love that.
So good. It's already so good.
Okay, that's
So
going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Matt and I have talked about that too. Like, because
he has two. It's the one, I think the first one that came out was The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari.
I think I have heard of that.
Yeah. And then this one is Who Will Cry When You Die.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari came out first, but I'm also, who knows, but
Yeah. That's exciting. though.
Sharma something.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry. I
love
just
that.
kept going there, huh?
You're supposed to keep going.
Yeah.
I love listening to you talk. Are you kidding me? You usually have to be the listener. So I think it's good that you get to do the talking too. And everybody wants to hear from you and they want to hear about you. Because you don't have the time to always share about yourself either. Nobody's asking you the questions. So I think it's awesome. I love that you shared like a whole bunch of different things here. Funny thing is we didn't talk about kids or marriage on this one at all. Because it is so fun to hear about what you're interested in, because you are interested in a lot and you are being pulled in so many different directions right now. But I feel like you're planning ahead so well because you guys are going to be traveling again. And I love that you are gun-ho into like all your podcasts this week. You're prioritizing so well. It's just so fun to see the growth in you from something that was hard. Okay, I got better at it. Something that was hard. Okay, I got better at it. And you are being a good example to all of us women in the sisterhood. So
Oh my gosh, you're so nice. It's like I said to Mandy today. She's like, I'm working on being more organized. And I'm like, it's just a practice. You just do it every day. And every day you make a step towards perfecting what works for you, right? Because what works for Mandy might not work for me. What works for me might not work for you, right? But so it was funny because for the rest of you listening, she showed both of us that she's got like 5 notebooks, active notebooks right now on her desk. And this one's for this, and this one's for this, and this one's for this. And I said, yeah, I have 4 planners.
yeah,
Like all of these planners and my planner, because I like to see what works best so that I can create next year's planner better than this year's planner, because what I didn't really think worked or what I thought would work this year, maybe I'm like, oh no, I need more room. I need bigger space. I want to just be able to write, or I just want to be able to, and next year I'm putting a lot more tools in our planner. So like the cognitive cycle tool, the thought download tool, the happiness tool. The one that's for April is the bonds with yourself, your relationship tool. So
That's exciting.
Yeah, I want
Well,
to put more of those in it.
thank you for doing all that for us so we can just achieve all the things we need to be doing. And I'm doing more than I ever have. So I mean, not that I don't do things, but I document more and organize more. And the funny thing about Mandy is showed us her husband's book and it was just one.
One, I loved
One
that too. I saw
I
that
was like,
too.
the difference between the man version and the woman
Yeah.
version, because we do have different areas in our life and we want them just right.
I
So it's,
loved that she showed us their nightstands because that
yes,
was so funny too. That was so
I
perfect.
didn't know
Like
we were
her
going
nightstand
to.
versus that is a funny challenge. If anyone wants to do that, go
Yes.
back to your home and look at your husband's nightstand and then look at your nightstand. And the difference is so funny. And then post it and tag me in it because
Yes.
I want to see too.
Yes.
Because it's true.
Revitalized.
Like, I don't think Rick has anything on his. Maybe like a bowl of cereal, like that he's eaten or something. But mine has like baby stuff, my stuff, lip gloss,
Yep.
books, oh my heck, mine's so
Out
random.
for my neck, and then yeah, it's just funny the difference, but no, it's good. It's good. So that's all I have for you today.
That's all you have for me today? Oh,
There's a
that's so
quick
good.
one. I
Amy
know.
wanted me to talk about something, but I think what time is it there? You're 12:30. You got to go soon.
Yeah, I'm okay, but yeah, I'll go soon.
Yeah, Amy wanted to have me talk about my family, but I will just touch
Yeah.
on that a little bit because
Yeah.
I won't get into it deep. But just the basics of it is I am the fourth daughter of 8 children. So, three sisters above me, three brothers below me, and one sister. So, and we are spread all across the US. I mean, like literally every corner. We've got one up in Seattle, one out in Florida, one down in Hawaii, mostly Utah based, but we are spread out. But once you get that many kids, I mean, the odds of us being spread out is pretty easy to do, right?
Yeah.
So my parents they spent March, they're still there, spending March in Florida with my brother right now. So
We
that's so fun.
are. I
Yes.
didn't know that. That's
Yes.
good.
We
So
have a
you're
big family, and my siblings have all reproduced wildly. And I think, I
yeah.
think I have the least at 3. Kirk has 3,
Really?
but he's younger than me as
Yeah.
well. So the rest, it's either
So
4 or 5.
you don't have an older brother. I
No.
didn't know that. All your brothers are your baby
Yep,
brothers.
they are. And oh my gosh, I'll tell you what, my older sister, Sarah, might as well have been an older brother. She beat on me. And it's the funniest too, because she's the most like me. Like we're best friends now.
Yeah.
Like we are the most similar. It was actually so funny. I held a picture up because my cute niece, she is like TikTok famous, and Al Roker's wife just came and interviewed her in Kaysville or in Layton, Utah. Like did a whole episode on her. So it was so adorable. And my sister was in the picture with her, and I held it up to show Locke, and he's all, Mama,
Mama.
Mama. And I'm like, no, that's Aunt Sarah. And he's like, no, Mama, Mama.
Oh,
And he kept saying that it was me. So it's so funny.
that is, yeah, I would love to see a picture.
Yeah. So
Aw.
it's really funny. And then so the by the time the boys came around, the boys in our family are more quiet, calm, reserved, like my dad, just very
Your dad's
thought
quiet.
out.
Yeah.
Just
That's what I wanted to know too. When Amy was asking that, I'm like,
my
oh,
parents are both very quiet. My
your
dad is
mom is
outgoing. He
okay.
is, they are sweet and kind and
Yeah.
outgoing people. Like they talk and have good conversations, but they are
Yeah.
very humble, sweet,
Yeah.
quiet more than me. That's like, "Bleh."
You're sweet and humble as well, but you have extra oomph and a little bit.
Extra oomph.
Just
So by the time the boys came around, the girls had already done everything you could possibly think of, like fight with each other. Oh my gosh, we were wild.
I
Wild,
can't
wild, wild.
imagine having that many girls in a house though.
Oh my goodness. And so different. The dynamics were
Yeah.
so different. Like there was the oldest and Amy and Sarah, they would not be able to get along. And me and Sarah would not be able to get along. But the one in between all of us, Katie, she was like quiet. And if you picked on Katie, everybody got mad at you. Like she was the one that everybody defended. It was kind of a lot like Little Women. Like if you watch Little Women, we kind of had one of each of those.
Yeah. It's so cool. I would love to think of other questions for that because it is fun to hear about. Because I think with not having a boy in the upper part of the first four, there wasn't that like dad version above you guys.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
I
because
get
you're
what
just
you're
that
saying.
older
Yeah, we all
brother.
kind of ran wild. We kind of, we
Imagine
were,
you all these girls and then that poor first boy, that your
and
poor
he is
first
like,
brother.
yes, he is. And he is so soft spoken and gentle. Like he raises his kids like he is so into the child rearing. He is so into the day to day taking care of them. He is like
Really?
hands on. He is.
Oh,
He's so cute. Yeah. But so my next brother too, he is a captain in the National Guard, and he is just
yeah. Oh, yeah, you've talked about him
boom. He
before.
dressed up as the Hulk one Halloween, and it's totally accurate. He looks like the Hulk, but he is a nurse practitioner, and he's the one that works with hormone therapy.
Okay,
And
that's
but same thing. He's super just quiet, like
yeah.
thoughtful,
Oh,
and just such a good dad, such a cute, cute dad. So
oh,
they're all just cute, cute brothers. I have such cute brothers, but man, the girls in my family were more like the rough and tough, and we used to prank each other. I remember one time Sarah called me up the stairs, and I came upstairs and she dumped a pitcher of ice cold water on me over the railing. Like just naughty things. We used to prank each other all the time.
oh,
We
and
were
your
so
sweet
naughty.
mom, I can see her being like, girls, be nice to each other, you
Oh
know.
my gosh. We ran her ragged.
I think though, if there would have been a male in there, it would have changed the dynamics a little bit. But it's just like
Probably.
chaos with girls. Is your youngest brother the baby, or is there a girl at the
He's the
end?
baby. Yep. He's the baby.
And can I come to the next family function,
Oh my gosh.
please?
Yes,
You're like,
absolutely. When will that be? I don't know. It's been a long time. The last family photo we have, I think maybe Hayes was born.
no. It's
Yeah, probably Hayes was born. I'll have to go look at it.
time to think about a new one because that would be really fun.
Yes, I said that. I actually told everybody, I'm like, we really need to focus on this. It's kind of hard because Anna, Nan's in Hawaii, so
Yeah.
she was the one on the rally call,
Okay.
and she had on our cute shirt, and
She's so adorable.
she is tough. She could kick some people's butts, man. She is a power lifting
That's so cool.
little rock star.
Yeah. I'd love to hear about that because your family is who you are, but they don't define who you are later in your life. I don't feel like you have, changed into who you need to be for like the mom of your three boys and what Rick needs you to be and what your community needs you to be. But even though you're raised with all of that, I only have three siblings. So you had more opportunity, I feel like, of growth. And that's what's so cool about big families. It's like, oh yeah, no, that's that personality. Nope, I don't want to be like that. Or I do want to be like that. You had all those people just to push you into the right direction or the wrong
Oh my
direction.
gosh, I think I ran that house. I ran that house ragged. My personality was so overwhelming. So
Can we put your
overwhelming.
siblings on a recording and talk
Oh
about
yeah, yeah, we
raising Gina?
definitely can. Oh my gosh.
Raising Gina.
It was bad. They have a story of me when I was like, oh my gosh, how old? Like very young, like 7 maybe. And they wrestled me into a dress. Literally, physically, by force, had to wrestle me into a dress because I was a tomboy and I did not want to wear a dress and didn't want to go to church. And I would just fight it with every fiber of my being.
Oh my gosh. Was it pink?
That's probably not. Bless their hearts.
Oh, you have a sweet family, I can tell. So you're amazing. But it was really fun to talk about
Yeah,
you.
thanks for hopping on here with me. I
Oh,
appreciate you doing this
anytime.
with me.
Anytime. I
You
think
get
it's
to go be school volunteer now.
yes. Yeah, I get to go read with the first graders. So
Aw, cute.
uh-huh. Yeah, they have a lot of energy. Those poor teachers. I wait for the next student to come. I'm like, go get so and so, and they come out, and then I just watch the rest of the students, and it's organized chaos. They do an
Yeah.
amazing job, but I know 45
Nope.
minutes I'm out of there. So
Nope. Nope. Yep. Absolutely. They do not pay teachers enough. I
no,
will be the first to tell you that right
no,
here. You heard
no.
it first.
So, but yeah, thanks for talking, and we'll see you soon.
Okay. Thanks, lady. Thanks for coming on here with me. We'll see you
All right.
next time.
All right. See ya.